Oh, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourselves in this weird, wall, wacky world of ours, and welcome to another exciting installment of Kansas by Night. I'm well aware that is not its name, however, I frankly can't remember what it's actually called, so going to move on ever so swiftly. The scene will take place in a venue, in a location I don't know. So, yes, I will give you over to the person who is going to set the scene for us.
Um, well, in the Barony of Festivals, the Barony of nearby Barony of Two Rivers, chimera start appearing in the larger numbers. And I'm definitely stalling for time as I'm looking on the forum for something. Where's the map? Oh, here it is. Okay. Barony. So, in the Barony of Festivals, chimeras start appearing in greater numbers. They're of all shapes and sizes, all types. It's crawling shadows and bright pink Energizer bunnies with sunglasses, big aviators that stretch half across their face. There are oversized bald eagles, and they all seem to center, or particularly those that fly towards a rundown part of the western half of Kansas City. In the Barony of Festivals, generally regarded as the most underachieving of baronies, there's a slow decay in parts. The recession wreaked havoc in the old industrial parts of town, but what little bit was even still functional. Outsourcing, automation, devastated the devastated local industry. And yet, a new building has gone up. Slowly, story by story. steel I-beams, forming a ambitious, aggressively shaped tower. After several years of construction, it's nearly done. There's only a few finishing touches left. Sorry, can everyone hear, by the way?
Yeah, it's just your narration is dragging, I guess is the
Sorry.
best way to put it.
I'm having lag issues, I think. I couldn't tell. Anyways, there's a lot of I'm going to turn the narration over to other people, but basically there is a newly constructed tower in an old industrial part of town on the western half of Kansas City in the barony of festivals. And many of the flying chimera are circling around the top.
Okay.
All right, I'll pick this up.
Thank God.
All right, so Traori, Harold, and Olaf are all going about what is basically just been a general day. Olaf's working in the forge. Harold is trying not to become a knight. And Traori is doing his damnedest to meddle in everyone's affairs, as he does. Now,
It's what I do.
what has made this day different is that suddenly, to their changeling eyes, there are chimera dragons in the air. There's flying cars. There's Chinese dragons. Was that a griffin? Holy shit, there's a toaster with wings.
God, it's happening again.
Throughout this all, they all seem to be gathered over one place. Especially the $100 bills that are flying around. They're all flying around one place. And that gets every one of them, just a bit curious. And then the explosion happens that nearly knocks them all off their feet chimerically. Something just happened. Something. Maybe a chrysalis? Maybe a nuke? I mean, people have nuked the Dreaming before. Is it safe? Traori, go. Give me
Okay.
what you're doing now.
Traori kind of, when he feels the wave of energy wash over him, he will put down the book that he's been scribing in, and he'll kick a bookshelf so as to make noise, and he'll say, "Harold, I assume you're conscious and haven't fallen under a shelf again."
Of course. You ask that every time, and the answer's always the same.
When Harold says that, appearing behind Traori as he does, Traori jumps to his feet and says, "Will you stop doing that?"
If you stop reacting to it, otherwise it's far too amusing to stop.
Fine. I'll accept this premise for now. Traori will remove his phone from the desk and will dial the number for Olaf and let the phone ring. Ring.
Olaf, of course, picks it up because instead of hearing a ring in the forge, a light blinks to get his attention, as if he was deaf. So he goes over to the phone, picks it up. Hello. This is O's Blacksmith. How may I help you today?
I assume you felt what?
You broke up really bad, but I think I understood what you said. He goes, yes, of course. I was just gathering up the pieces of something that I've made to bring over for you.
Can you hear me better now or no?
Yes, better now.
Okay. He will say, very well. No, stay where you are. We'll come to you. We should go and investigate whatever the hell that was.
Sounds like a plan.
Alright, so Scooby-Doo scene, diddly-diddly-doo, everyone's now together.
Yes.
And the Chimera are going utterly insane and throwing themselves bodily against a building. Olaf's just sitting there smoking a cigarette, and as y'all drive up, he's pointing to a building far away. So, yeah, about that. Something's effed up.
In fact, a massive bald eagle comes and perches at the top.
What is,
and even through the drink, and even through to our real life ears, we hear America.
Fuck yeah.
What is this building in the Grey World as we kind of, look at it?
It looks like an office building, not quite fully built yet. Or maybe it's some kind of apartment building. It's a big high-rise, but like the glass hasn't been put in yet. Like there's still like sheets of plastic covering it.
No, there's no sheets of plastic. It's almost done. They're just putting finishing touches on.
All right, cool.
But yeah, basically, it looks. No, it could be anything. It could be a condo tower. It could be an office building. It could be some combination. It's built in Art Deco style.
Really don't know because fuck if we ever go there. But it's a building, and Chimera are looking like they are. As we look at the last time eyes, it looks like they're trying to break the building down to get at whatever's inside.
What did you say, Nico? Sorry?
I said that wasn't there the last time I came out.
No. Well, look on the bright side. At least they said that our city had a failing economy. It still does, but at least we have a nice new building.
Yeah.
Priori walks up to the door. Is the entranceway to the building itself accessible or no?
No. There's just wire fencing around everything. It's an active construction site. There's a crane.
We are not in luck with my luck dice. There are currently people there working.
Damn straight there are. It needs to be ready for Tuesday.
So Priori will kind of he'll make his way. He'll kind of gesture for the others to follow him, and they're just going to walk through the building side and just wait until somebody tries to stop them. Changeling life.
Well, after driving there in a car, because it takes a good 20 minutes to get there, after looking over the best map that I can find, like the foreman stops you. What's going on? Why are you here? Like, this is dangerous. You're not even wearing hard hats or safety glasses, and we're pouring cement too.
He kind of blinks and looks at the foreman and says, "What is the purpose of this building, foreman?"
Don't know. Not paid to know.
Disappointing. Disappointing. Who's your employer? That you can tell me.
Some rich, snobby kid. Thinks he's gonna make it big in Kansas.
I see. How very interesting. In that case, he kind of looks up to see the Chimera still headbutting the building, nodding, because he's pretty sure that he knows what this is. He's been alive for so long.
Join the internet party again?
Oh, wow. Okie dokie, artichoke. He's been alive for so long that he knows what a chrysalis is. He's seen it. He's felt its presence a dozen times over. So he will remove a piece of paper from a notebook and he'll scribble a message on it that he will then fold over very neatly and give to the foreman. And he will say, if you would not mind, there's also a fresh, crisp $100 bill folded with the paper. Giving that to your employer, please. And for the record, this is the sister-in-law who, I don't know, wanted to know my age and kind of creeped the shit out of me. So, you know, Sam, it's entirely fair. Continue on.
All right. Well, he looks at it. That's $100. Yeah. I can do that. And he goes up and instead of using the elevator because that wouldn't be turned on till the last day, he takes a bucket up. And when he gets there, guy's not there. Completely gone. And he comes back down and he's like, oh, I left it up there for him, but he ain't there. Like he was there like an hour ago. Didn't see him leave.
Traore smiles to himself and he says, "Oh, I'm sure he'll get the missive. It's quite all right, Foreman. Thank you for your time."
All right. Well, if that's all, you can leave. We've still got a lot of work to do. We got a 2 a.m. pour as well.
Well, me. He will turn. Traore turns to Harold and says, "I believe our work here is done."
Seems to be the case.
I've given him, as they're walking back to the car, he'll say, "I've given him the address of the changeling bar I own in the town, the Hollow Oak. We'll go there and see if a new face appears."
You realize that those things are trying to get at him to eat him, right?
Traore casually looks up at the building and says, "Maybe."
Well, if you're not going to go up there and do something, I guess I will. Come on, Harold.
Sigh.
There's John is actually sitting on a couple bags of concrete, just kind of staring up at the building. In the gray world, he's
Well, when the chrysalis happens, you are shifted into the dreaming. So you would be like hiding somewhere inside the building.
Oh, okay.
You can reach where you are in the building.
I'm hiding deep inside. That's also fine. I'm going to go with you.
Because there are
You run
things
this.
bashing against the windows, against the beams, and you can see like one of the dragons breathing fire and clawing, just trying to get at you. And you can see light, just pure light, like just coming off of you in little bubbles. That when they pop, something.
John looks down at the lines on his desk and just with horror and just carefully brushes everything into the garbage. Clearly they sold him a bad batch.
Yeah, this is really bad.
Balls. Oh my god.
Very well.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
We will go and claim the young one. I haven't had to do this in 100 years. Life.
All
right.
Time for. It's like, wouldn't that have been about 160 years?
Well, minor details. Minor details, Harold.
I owe my life to that minor detail.
True. Very well. So yes. So
So you've got to go back away from the building. There's no way that you're going to find a Trod right here. At least you don't know of one. So the nearest Trod is back at the tavern, which you know where it is. It's easy to find. You know the door. You know the passphrase or the key to go through. And when you step into the Dreaming, everything in the area around that tower is vibrant. Except instead of a tower, it's more like this giant castle with palisades and stone brick walls. It's huge, and you're absolutely sure that that wasn't there yesterday.
well, very casually, the Triori will take a single dross coin from the inner folds of his robe, hand it to Harold, and say, "You win the bet. It wasn't there yesterday."
I always win the bet. They'll take the stuff.
Yep. Okay. They will wend their way towards the castle, I would suppose.
All right. How are you going to get in? Are you going to try to sneak?
No.
Or are you going to try to act differently? Or are you just going to bum rush the door?
We're not going to bum rush. We're going to casually walk.
Well, there's things trying to kill whatever's inside, and they may not, be too happy with something trying to get at their meal, too.
Let's see.
Harold, do you know how you want to get in?
I was going to use chicanery
Okay.
to appear like one of them.
Get in.
Just sort of a... I guess it's more like it's trick of the light, so it's... they misinterpret us as another chimera.
All right, bang up shop. Give me the roll. If you're going to include more people,
I don't think I can, actually. I don't think I've seen, so I can't do that. I can do myself.
You can pay one draw so you get scene one.
That's true. I can do that.
What bunk would you like to use, sir? And I'll link you the dice roller. Give me a second.
Thanks. Let's see. We will burn a dollar bill, because I have one. Something. Don't have time to think of something more useful.
I'll give you a -1 difficulty on that. So difficulty 7.
Yep. Okay, there's the dice roller. Excellent. They're there. Okay.
All right. Let me know when you've rolled. And while they're doing that, Samuel, what's your character's name again?
It's a Grey World name or
Yeah, either or.
It's he goes by John. It's John Visconti.
Oh, crap.
So John, you obviously you're just having this awful trip because not only are the dragons outside, but there's a bald eagle on top of your building screaming America and drinking a beer.
I did it. Okay, so that's 2 successes.
All right, that's all. You just need 1. So there you go. And all of
guess
this
we
is
should
going down,
Stand up.
and not only that, but now that you look at your office a bit better, you could swear that this looked like it came straight out of the Middle Ages. Like, this desk is made of oak. Your chair has an actual cushion, not like a wheelie chair, but an actual oak chair. The window panes are small with steel or iron or something running through them, and you can't really see out of it very well. And
God. It's like those R.A. Salvatore novels I read as a teenager. Oh, it's such a fucking nightmare.
alright, so with chicanery, I will give it that all three of you can get into the building.
Hooray. We we look around the empty marketplace. I would assume, because it is a marketplace, it's a central market it's a walled market with a large building at its central heart. I'd assume
It looks exactly like a castle would. It's got the keep, and it's got surrounding it a big market area, which could have become a town or anything else. But right now, there's nothing there. There's no stone. There's no wood. There's nothing. Just open area.
Traore kind of looks at Harold and looks at Olaf, and he says, "This place is impressive."
Olaf shrugs. Yeah, it's pretty big. Not sure what you could use it for. It's got to have a use though. But we should probably hurry because if we take too long, we'll get to him, and then this place might disappear with it.
Yes, very well. He kind of points towards the central point and says, "Let us make haste, gentlemen. Let us make haste."
We make haste.
And I roll that.
I need coffee. Oh God, I need coffee. No, I don't want coffee. I want tea. I want
The dice roll, whatever. Neutral. I want either good or bad. Alright, that's good. So nothing costs you. You look like a big enough dragon that nothing overtly attacks you. Several flying $100 bills run into what would be the skin of the dragon and kind of bounce back because they believe it's real. As you get to the keep, you notice that the door is wide open. So everyone just rushes in, and Olaf just slams the door, holds it, and looks to the two of you. He goes, "Well, I can hold this door for some time, but let's not make that forever. Why don't you go and find him?"
Right, we won't be long.
Chicanery would drop at this point because it doesn't last that long. So.
Traore resists the urge, like the hold the door joke that is brimming in his mind. Anyway.
So give me an intelligence investigation to guess where the master bedroom or master office would be. I will also accept from you, if you have it, let me look at Greymare or Enigmas. But
we're House Ilunid, and you ask if we have Greymare.
I mean,
let's go for this. I mean, I'll roll, you roll?
Yes.
All right. I have a 9 die pull for intelligence Greymare, so.
Holy shit, I actually botched.
You in fact do. So you think it's in the basement. It's gotta be in the basement.
It's clearly in the basement.
That's a 2-die botch. It's got to be in the basement. Like, you will hear nothing else. It has to be in the basement.
Is standard difficulty 7 or we have difficulty 8 here?
No, standard difficulty 6, sir. Which means that it's 5 for Illumina.
Wow.
Yeah, you
So, here we
managed to
go.
botch on a 5.
Ooh,
All
wow.
right, so Traori thinks it's in the basement. You got.
I got 0 successes, but I didn't botch.
Yep. So
Could
Traori could be
I
right.
put it on an out of character note? No one not in House Eluded must ever know.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's like you guys both have like massive dice pools for that.
And like the luck of the draw was like, oh god. I can also try the Enigmas one though. If I know, I don't know.
Well, you don't know that you don't know because Traori thinks that it's got to be in the basement.
Well, he
So
botched. I didn't botch.
he makes a persuasive argument because he's got
Okay.
a
Let's
double
go.
botch. All right, so you head to the basement area, and you see, oh look, it's like every other castle. It's a dungeon, and you
I'm not
swear
seeing
it's
it,
an
Jim.
oubliette off in the corner.
Traori will casually turn on his heel and say, I accept nothing.
I mean, maybe if you look through a little bit more, maybe it's like a hidden passage or something.
This is pretty sketch.
Let me tell you what. When we have searched the entirety of the lower level, having wasted all of our time doing so, he will eventually admit he's wrong after about 20 minutes.
Excellent.
Okay. They will then return to the top floor and try again.
So now you're back on the main floor. All right. Well, it wasn't in the basement. So give me enigmas because this is just confusing now. Intelligence enigmas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I didn't actually botch. I read that wrong. I rolled 85 rather than 80-10.
Well, I just got 5 successes on the Enigmas roll, so it doesn't matter.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, both of us got 5. We apologize. Grog is having family or technical difficulties.
No. Grog was looking over a map of the castle. So he's either in a tower off to the side, or he's in the main keep's main floor, like at the top of it. Depending on if you think that he may like magic, he may be in the tower and call it a mage tower, or he could be on the top floor of the main keep, like a lord's main bedchamber would be. With 5 successes, you can tell that it could be either of these things, but you can't tell which because you don't know this person.
Traori kind of disassembles the situation mentally. Someone who's brought this powerful a freehold into existence, or who has this much clout, he assumes it's a she because basically it seems like something a she would do. So he's going to assume Lord first, then Magician. Admittedly, he's the other way around. He's Magician first, then Lord, but I'm making an assumption.
All right. Well, you go up and, well, wouldn't you know it? There's a guy sitting at an oak desk, looking out the window as a dragon is crashing against it. Just boom, boom, boom. The walls are literally shaking from the power of it. It's this great big black dragon. Its mouth is dripping with acid, and it's roaring and yelling profanity, the stuff that would make a knocker blush.
Yeah, the guy is just like, he's waving one fist and giving the finger with the other at the dragon. Yelling in a kind of muted Brooklyn accent. Hey, get away from my windows!
Ah, so you're the one we came to find, says the tall figure dressed in armor standing by the door.
He brushes some white stuff off his nose and turns.
So let me stop you. You've never seen these kind of people before. Troy, give a description of you, including a kith, please.
Okay. Traori stands at about 6'1" in his kith form. What's your academic, Sam?
It's funny you should ask. Just pulled that up. It's 0.
Okay, yeah, you've got no idea.
Yep.
He radiates palpable power and wisdom, as in it's almost overwhelming, those emotions when you look at him. He's wearing the black and grey of House Ilunid with a large crescent moon on his breastplate. He also has long black hair tied back in a braid that spills over one shoulder. It has the pointed ears of the She and deep almost luminescent purple eyes.
All right. Harold, give a description of what your character looks like as well.
Harold is it's about 5'10", 5'9". He's got really pale skin, and he's wearing a pair of just sort of half moon glasses. Generally, sort of lank black hair, parted at the center. His pale skin, I mean, his skin's too pale. It doesn't look like he's really all that living. And generally sort of casual clothing. Doesn't look all that inhuman.
Well, you forget, he's also a Slua, so
Yeah.
the blacks are much inkier, the whites
Yeah.
are
I mean, he
much
sort of seems
brighter.
like he looks a little shadowy, honestly. Sort of shady, but you feel kind of, I don't know a good term for that.
You feel slimy. Is the word I
Excellent.
believe you're looking for.
Yeah.
Just this kind of, if you've ever seen oil on top of water, it just gives you that feeling. And now, John, proceed.
John, roll something here. Just to keep composure. How did you roll it here? Fuck.
It's hashtag number like 1d10 or however many d10 you want to roll, and then if you want to set a number for it to give for it to denote, it's F the number. So hashtag 1d10 F number.
All right, well, 2 successes. John keeps his composure, although inwardly he is just freaking the fuck out. But a pleasant, neutral smile is on his face. Very even look. His eyes just look calmly out at everyone. A pleasure to meet you here. Are you investors here for the tour?
Traori kind of looks down at Harold and says in a language that he genuinely can't understand. I don't think he thoroughly grasps the situation.
It is always so with ones this young.
Yes. He will then look back up and respond in English. No. We're here to explain to you why it is there's a dragon knocking on your window with its head.
What dragon?
He'll casually point out the window.
Thump,
Oh, I don't see a dragon.
thump.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just a crane outside.
Mm-hmm.
He wipes, puts his hand in his pocket, and then takes it out again. Just, yep.
Troyori kind of calmly walks forward, and he sits on the desk, not sitting on it, but he leans against it, and he says, "I see. And where are my manners? What's your name?"
It's John Visconti at your service. Very pleased to meet you, Mr.
Troyori will stand up and he'll shake his hand and say, "I'm called Sir Troyori ap Iluna, at your service, or Ilunid at your service."
Very nice to meet you, Mr. Apollunid.
Allow me
Is that Ukrainian?
No. Allow me to introduce my friend and confidant, Harold Ramsey. He will say, denoting Harold by the door.
A pleasure.
Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Ramsey.
Walk
Okay.
up and shake your hand.
She shakes it. He's a tall fellow, about 6'2", maybe 6'3", hair under 6'3". Lean, not particularly athletic. Handsome in a kind of dissolute way. He looks very much, in fact, like Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. That's a
Okay.
pleasure.
We will, how to say, come to realization, you and I, Mr. Viscotti. He reaches into his pocket, or into the inner folds of his robe, and he withdraws a small vanity mirror. Just an ordinary kind of, something to apply makeup, perhaps. And he clicks it open, and he says, "Would you mind looking at your reflection, please?"
Sure. Oh, this is just
Okay.
mentally going through some numbers. He looks in the mirror.
And you are she, so
Yep.
you're suddenly a lot more handsome than you've ever seen yourself. And my, what many ears you have. My, what pale skin you have. My, what sharp eyebrows. It's almost if they were groomed, and your hair is perfect.
His hair's always
What?
perfect. Yes, the other things are quite a shock. Yes, I do have an excellent tailor.
Yes, and his ability to spin you into having pointed ears is somewhat Rumpelstiltskin-esque, I assure you.
He just, his hands just flutter for a second, and then itching to touch the ears. Excuse me for a moment. I just view the facilities. Would you? There's a bottle on the sidebar there. He points to where it was previously, at least in the Great World.
Now there's more like a cabinet. Like one of those old tiny drinking cabinets with the nestled cushioned bottles and the crystal glass so that light shines through it and sparkles. All the booze is there, but the names are just odd. Jack and Jill, the Beanstalk, Mexican Enchandra 2.
That's awesome.
As because he's kind of getting sick and tired of the dragon smashing his head into the window, Very kind of casually walks over. I just have to assemble my dice pool for this. It's
So John's going to the washroom. Just to be clear, that's why he
yeah,
indicated
that's
the
fine.
side.
Bear with me just a moment. So, yep, that's going to be 4. So basically, he takes his hand and he bites it ever so slightly, just enough to draw blood. Grog, and he basically wipes the blood under each one of his eyes as a bunk for an autumn cantrip, and looks the dragon straight in the face while hissing something. So whatever bonus you choose to give me for that.
I'll give you -1 for the blood, and if you can come up with something rhymey, I'll give you another -1 while you're hissing it.
Okay, let me think. So it is, and so bound in time. This one, yes, you see, is mine. So fly away, fly up high. Go. So fly away, fly up high. Slink away, lest you die.
All right, that'll be a total of -2 to your difficulty.
Cool. I'm using Fae, which is my affinity realm. So it's -3. So it goes from diff 8 to diff 5, I must say. Yes. I'm gonna spend a willpower because I can. One, 2, 3. Okay, cool. So that is Autumn 1. So he's now going to intimidate the dragon outside, using the same vocal that he used before, basically as an intimidation check, which gets -3, which gets minus. Well, it can only go to a -3 diff because of the autumn rank 1, which basically reduces the difficulty of intimidation checks. So he will roll his check at diff 3 to intimidate the dragon. And fucking off.
1 second. I'm gonna say that it's diff 9 starting to intimidate a dragon.
Okay, cool.
Because giant dragon.
That's fair. In that case, all of my successes would count, which means it goes down to diff. It was -4. So that means it goes down to diff 5 to intimidate the dragon. So, gonna spend another willpower here, because fuck off, dragon. No one loves you. Those ones, though. He still gets 2 successes to intimidate a dragon.
Alright, with 2 successes, the dragon stops pounding on the window and is looking you dead in the eye and calls your mother an elderberry-eating, jam-infested, blankety-blank whore. And then grabs a flying beer can next to his head and drinks it.
Yes. Bravo.
But yes, he then casually turns away from the window, just like, yep, I've done my duty today. You're probably not going to get eaten anymore. Thank you, and good night.
John, in the bathroom after closing the door, just looks at himself in the mirror and is just kind of like touching the ears.
Oh god, they're there. You can feel them. This is either the worst trip ever, or someone has snipped your ears so that they point.
Oh, this is so fucked up. Bitch. Didn't know she was a plastic surgeon. Oh. He looks down and huh. I thought I was wearing a blue suit today. It's black.
Yeah, that's not a blue suit anymore. That's That's like velvet and like, is that hose that you're wearing? And a cod piece? What is with this lace ruffles? And my god, you're wearing a hat. And it's got a giant feather in it. But oh my god, the ensemble apparently works. You look good in it.
He walks out again, pours himself a drink and one for everyone else. Gentlemen, happy to hear explanations. Be you figments of my imagination or part of some surprisingly high budget Ashton Kutcher show. But I mean, man, he must have fallen on hard times.
Triori removes a nail file and starts filing his nail. As he says, I'll let Mr. Ramsey do the very brief opening explanation.
Okay.
He tends to be more blunt.
Suffice it to say, I mean, it is sort of your imagination insofar as your imagination is an extension of the human imagination. But no, this isn't acting, and it's also not imaginary in the sense of not being real. How to put this? A long time ago, there were a bunch of, let's call them fairy tale creatures, who decided that in response to a calamity, they'd have to take on human bodies to protect themselves. You're one of them.
I'm
Okay,
like
was that
David
blunt
Bowie.
enough?
America and Bowie.
Fuck yeah. I can dig that. America and Bowie, two things I love.
Welcome to the club, needless to say. We've got jackets.
Sweet. We're gonna rumble with the sharks or something.
He kind of blinks his eyes and says, well, that richly depends. You're like me, you see. In a manner of speaking. Same family grouping. So
Species?
I suppose that you are very new.
Yes.
I presume that was his chrysalis earlier.
One would presume so. Prior says he very calmly flips the dragon off outside, insulting his mother.
You!
John just kind of like grabs his cod. Sorry, excuse me for a minute. He goes up to the window, grabs his cod piece, and just kind of thrusts. Just one massive thrust.
Right, that's gonna be a strength roll from the dragon. For antagonizing a dragon. Yes. Just going with straight strength.
Hey, your sister wears army boots. And I had them both pointed at the ceiling.
Yeah,
This one's
now
left
rolls
maybe
will
short.
never do anything. Oh, okay. The window cracks as he gives another loud roar, and said the French do it better. Bam.
He like reaches in his desk for his gun.
It's not there.
Where the fuck is my Colt?
They don't translate well to this side.
I want my Colt.
I'm sorry. Fairy tale creature, remember?
Yeah, well, magic dance, but I want my colt.
Trevor kind of half closes his eyes. Basically, he's decided the best place for them at the moment is to GTFO out of the dreaming until basically the environment calms down. So he's basically going to rock a Greymere roll to try and find this freehold door to the real world.
All right, I can. Your difficulty is 10 because it is someone else's.
Yep. Because
So
I'm
that-
House Ilunid, that goes to
That goes to 9.
Nice.
Say my slew birthright might be useful here.
1, 2, 3. 3 successes.
Or you could just do it.
You've got a fairly good idea where it could be, but you're gonna have to go outside.
Very well. In that case, Mr. Viscotti, if you'd like to follow us, please. We're going to take you back to the real world for a little while until the dreaming calms down. Considering that a new building of this magnitude has just suddenly popped into being, they're rather disconcerted with existence at the moment. That dragon's an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell. I mean, listen, he seems like my kind of guy, but he's had a bit much to drink. Man, boy can't hold his liquor. Me, mother's milk. Yeah,
That
just
explains a lot of things.
And then the dragon slams into the window again and is looking at Traore. You're a dog-hearted cur with less manners than an Irishman.
Have you never met an Irishman?
He smiles very sweetly as he closes the door to the office behind him with the words, "Yes, and you make better boots than you do a creature." Closes the door.
Ooh. Bet he'd make a great build, too.
You're not wrong. Now then, we just have to go and collect my squire, and then we're going to have to run for our lives. Huh. Sounds like Monday. As they proceed down to the Great Hall, you will perceive your first troll. Have fun with that.
Sweet.
So before you is, well, imagine the picture. Now imagine that he's, 7.5, almost 7'3", almost 8 feet tall, really. And he's got ram horns spiraling from his temples, around his ears, and come back up. He's blue, just a deep shade of blue. He's got this giant hammer in his hands, and he's got it propping the door closed. And you look at him for a second. Wait, the blue was just the light. That's like basalt granite or something. Like, is he made of stone?
That is some fucking awesome kayfabe.
Olaf just looks over at Traore. So, this is not exactly a job I won't have, and there is something very angry outside. So we need to get with the leavings.
Yes, I've come to that realization. He kind of gestures at a table, like one of a long table that maybe was in the dining hall, and he says, "I've got an idea. It might involve running with that over our heads and seeing how we go."
This is possibly a solid wood table. I don't know how fast we'll be able to run holding it.
Have you met a troll?
Point.
Alright, well, this is kind of beneath me. So I'm going to knock several hundred years off of my oath for this. Because if anyone sees me, I would lose much honor in the Troll Nation.
There's nobody here.
There are chimerical things everywhere. Do not think they talk to people. I mean, one was been insulting someone and said France was good. I don't even know. This person's just crazy.
Should we try cardboard boxes instead?
No, I will carry it, but this is coming out of my contract.
Very well then.
Why don't we just walk out the front door?
You'll see.
All right, so he grabs the table, picks up the hammer, and he goes, "Okay, on 3, Harold, you open the door. Yes."
All right, let's do this.
And then I run out, and everyone hide on their table. All right, 1, 2, 3,
And I open the door.
and he just goes barreling out, like tilts the table, like knocks part of like the gelding off of it, and gilding off of it, and then he just holds it like a literal shield on one shoulder so that it shields the rest, all 3 of you. Let's go. We got to go. Where's a chopper?
Triori will kind of point to, one of the walls with one of the gatehouses, and will say, "The gateway to the real world's through there. Let's just get moving."
Fire just raining from the sky, just as dragons are just coming by, and a bald eagle just comes by, swoops beside you, goes, "America, fuck yeah," and flies away. And he's got in one hand he's got a Bud Light, or in one claw he's got like a Bud Light, in the other claw he's got a machine gun, and trailing behind him is an American flag.
I didn't even have to tell you that. That is exactly what that he has. Yes. Awesome.
And as you get to the wall, the troll just props the table against it. All right, does anyone have the key?
Only its owner has the key, he says.
Who's that?
That'd be you. Pointing at Sam.
Okie dokie. He takes a.
Sam, you notice that you got a belt on? Yeah. Okay. Well, you got a belt. You got to hold up. Well, no, you don't really have to hold up hose. But there's this jingling sound now that you've been thinking about it, and there's this big iron key ring.
Wouldn't be iron, would it? It'd be.
It looks like iron. It's black. It's not really shiny.
Right.
Could be steel. Could be titanium. Right. You don't know.
It's true. I don't have science either. Yeah. Okay. He takes the key. He's like, "Okie dokie. Let's play along. Big ass key. Big ass keyhole. Click. Turn. All right."
And
doors open.
You stop because you suddenly see the real world. But there's like a dragon like running at you. But there's the real world with cars going by. And there's a Pegasus like running through the sky, screaming about how someone chopped off his nuts. And how he hates all men, and the men all need to die. Just all kinds of weird is going on. But you're sure that's the real world out there?
I think this stuff's wearing off. That's good. No. Santa Fe.
And Olaf just goes, "You know what? You are taking your time. I understand, but Olaf not want to be eaten."
Yeah. So
I'm okay. Yeah, I got my car's over in the lot there.
So as you walk out, Olaf turns around and shuts the door, and he's still got a hammer, which is kind of odd. But he's dressed differently. It's like he's got a blacksmith apron on, like just a white shirt, and some leather pants, stuff that is flame retardant, basically. Traori's wearing a suit, I'm guessing. Harold's wearing
Casual
A suit
clothes.
with some green, based on the picture.
Oh no, that's just casual clothing.
Yeah, since you're wearing some casual clothing, and well, you're in a suit again.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
God.
Mr. Viscati, I sense you have a lot of questions.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a couple. Let's get to the car, though. Oh, where are we going? He leads the way to the Escalade.
Well, out of character, Evan really has to go and sleep because,
Oh,
yeah. So I'm thinking, okay, he'll smile and say, "How about you return to my home? There's an awful lot that you need to be taught."
okay, cool. Can I hang with these guys for a while, though? Seems like a fun time.
Of course you can. He'll smile as they sit into the car. He'll place his phone to his ear and say, "Elizabeth, we're having one more for dinner." All you hear from the other line is, "Yes, my lord." And he smiles. "Ah, yes, you're going to have to come to grips with the feudal system. That one's going to be interesting."
Yeah, no, fuck that.
But with that, the car will speed into the distance, the newly chrysalis changeling in tow, as the team of changeling super friends make their way back to the Bat Cave, as we're now calling it. And on that note, we will call it scene.
Well, one